that children who are abducted tend to be female, by and large. They tend to be murdered very quickly, as we've said, but then left in the same place as where they were killed. They tend to have been sexually assaulted also. Are there any similarities when we actually look at the perpetrators, David?
There can be similarities between, people who offend against children and people that kill children, but unfortunately there are some radical differences as well. That you have people who are primarily interested sexually in children. There are people who are kind of predators of children, who only want to abuse them or to bully them, and possibly you've alluded to, there are people who, as it were, learn that these are the easiest targets and individuals to manipulate and therefore, utilize, but not necessarily for sexual purposes. However, there are common characteristics in that they do tend to be extremely manipulative, excellent liars, very good at covering up their tracks. They are almost universally, to some degree, loners, odd people who do not fit in with the rest of society. So to some degree, they do kind of identify themselves within communities.
I mean, the reason why they're sexually abused is we're talking about predatory paedophiles here. Those are the people that abduct children, and they abduct children and then they sexually abuse them. What other purpose is there to abduct a child of 4 years old? What value will they give you other than from sexual gratification? And that is why they get sexually abused.
You do get people who primarily want to bully and manipulate and control a child, sometimes without sexual purposes, because, if you like, that is the sexuality of the person. Power and control come well before sexual.
But not from a stranger's point of view to abduct a child. I can't think of it. There are very few strangers who abduct children
with other than sexual
other than the sexual. I mean, what was the point of abducting a child other than to,
someone you can overpower and bully, control and kill,
then return them back home?
No.
Just to stop you for a second, when I assess child abusers, I look at two things. I think that every offence against a child has two elements. One is sexual motivation, so sexual gratification, but also these offences meet some type of emotional need, don't they? In terms of Leslie Molseed, she was stabbed 11 times. If she'd simply been sexually abused and then needed to be got rid of quickly, instrumentally, just to be expedited, why use such rage?
At that time, he wanted to kill her, and there's sexual gratification. Maybe he got sexual gratification from killing her in that manner. That was a decision that he took. But what we must say is that the end result was that she died. The means that he did it was by using a knife, but it was as a result of her being sexually abused by